Well, it's springtime, and spring brings summer, and summer brings summer sausage. That's right. We're going to make some right after this. Hang on. Hi, I'm Ricky from RV Underway. If you enjoyed the RV lifestyle and love learning more about it, we encourage you to subscribe. Give us a thumbs up, also leave us a comment, and ring that bell to be notified when new content is available. And today we are in South Mississippi with my good friend Mike, and we're going to be making summer sausage. He's the expert, I'm not. But first off, before we get going, I want to thank you for your many years of service in the United States Coast Guard. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It's my honor and privilege. I can assure you of that.
Absolutely. Well, he does a lot of hunting, a lot of fishing, a little bit of everything. His whole family has been outdoorsy, and today he's going to tell us all about how to make summer sausage. So I'm going to turn it right over to him.
Today we're going to make venison summer sausage. I generally hunt in Kansas. That's where I lived for 20 years after I got out of the Coast Guard. And I go back and hunt mule deer most every year in Kansas. So the best way for summer to enjoy deer meat is summer sausage, of course, with a good cold beer.
I hear that.
I use a Hunter's Blend summer sausage kit. It's by High Mountain, and it's out of somewhere in Wyoming. Anyway, it's very flavorful, very good, and
so this has your spices and your cure and your casing,
right,
and everything.
It's got the spices, the cures, the casing, and instructions. I know you said I was the expert, but I'm never an expert on this. I find it's different every time you do it.
All good cooks still use a recipe, so.
We use 3 parts of venison to 1 part of pork.
Now, is that mostly pork fat?
It's mostly pork fat. The reason for that being the venison is so lean, it has no fat in it. And you have to have fat in order to make your summer sausage moist, and it gives it a little more flavor. Although we do have seasoning packets in the High Mountain seasonings. So, but we mix it 3 parts of deer meat to 1 part of pork. So I'm going to get the deer meat out. We're going to get started and do some grinding. Now, the colder your venison is, even partially frozen, the better it grinds. So I've cut up some roasts and stuff, roast and some steaks, some of the cuts that I don't like to eat, and we're going to mix that with the pork. And I also have some deer hamburger meat out of this same deer. And we're going to make 5 sticks, and each stick is about 3 pounds, so we're going to make 15 pounds. So I need 12 pounds of meat and 3 pounds of sausage, of pork, excuse me.
Very lean meat. Now, do you happen to personally have known this deer?
Not personally, but him and I got personal in a hurry when I saw him.
We're going to show you some pictures of that deer right now.
I shot this one in November of 2020. I mounted him a European mount.
That's a good looking mount. And this is him right here.
And this is him. We're gonna get started. Okay, so pork fat is pretty scarce, hard to find these days. If you have a butcher shop, you can get it there. You know, they used to just give it to you. It was just scrap. Now it's cheap if you can find it at butcher shop. Most of your big stores, your chain stores, Walmart and them, their meat is all pre-packaged somewhere. They don't package it, they don't cut it, they don't do anything to it. You can still get it like, well, you can get it at Winn-Dixie, but you gotta buy a 40-pound box of it when you get it. I don't need 40 pounds because I only use a mixture of, 3 to 1. So anyway, it's a commodity that is very hard to find anymore. And I've got a couple stores around here and a butcher shop that I can get it from, but it's getting more difficult every day to find it. It's very time consuming, but you have to grind it. I mean, this is ground meat here. This is ground deer. So this is already ground, but the other stuff you have to grind. Whatever you're gonna use, it has to be ground. And once you grind it, then you have to cool it. Then you have to do a second grind once you have your all your meat together so that you can mix it. After you get that done, then you add your seasonings, your cure, then you have to stuff the casings. And these are 3-pound casings that we're using. We're making, like I say, 15 pounds, so we'll have 5 casings we have to stuff. Then after you stuff them, you have to wait 24 hours. It stays in the refrigerator for 12 to 24, no more than 24, no less than 12 hours for the cure to be curing the meat. And then you put it on your smoker, and that takes about another 8 hours to get it smoked. And so it takes a long time to do it, but you know what? In the end, it's well worth it because it is great.
So Mike, how do you get all the meat out that's still up in there?
Well, that's a good question, Rick.
Yeah.
And it's a secret. But I'm gonna let you in on this secret.
All right.
All right? I'm gonna use a dinner roll left over from Easter dinner.
That ain't no ordinary dinner roll, that's a King's Hawaiian dinner roll.
That's right. Came all the way from Hawaii.
That's right.
I really don't want all that bread in my sausage.
Therein lies the secret. Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anyone. Shh.
Especially not Miss Joan.
Yeah. I'll tell her I use her Hawaiian rolls. All right. I get that bread out of there. There we go. I think that is chopped up fine enough. What do you think, Rick? Looks like it's...
Being as this is my first time, I'm gonna say yeah. I'm with you fellas.
I think that's a good answer. You gotta mix all that fat with mix it up with the deer meat, kind of make it all consistent so you don't get a big glob of fat in one and, one bite. The next part, you have to chill this, because when I run it through here again, I will probably run it through another cut while I'm filling the
Casings.
the casings.
Uh-huh.
And it needs to be chilled because it's so soft now, it won't hardly go through here. It'll just squirt back at you.
About how long you gonna chill it?
Oh, I'll probably chill it for a good hour.
Yep.
That gives us time for a cup of coffee or whatever. Beer. Beer. That works too.
All right.
All right, so I'm gonna get to chilling. Most everything on this shelf here, down here, is deer meat. I got another freezer full out there. So when I run out, I won't really run out, because I'm always running a year behind.
So about an hour on that.
About an hour, yeah, and then we'll add the spices to it, and then we will mix it up again good, and then we'll put it in the casings. And I'm going to show you right now what we're going to do with the casings.
So we got 5 casings, and we're gonna soak them in warm water for an hour.
At least an hour, yeah. Now it says to mix the cure and seasoning together, according to the chart. So we're doing 15 pounds of meat. So we do seasoning packet, 1 whole packet, and 1 whole packet of cure. And for 15 pounds, we will need 12 ounces of ice water. You pour that over the meat, and then you pour your seasonings stuff in also. Good, good, that. $12 ounces. All right. Okay. And 12 ounces of cold ice water. And now you mix thoroughly.
All right, so the meat has chilled for over an hour. It's been seasoned and cured.
And curing added.
The curing is added. It's going to cure overnight. 24 hours, I think you said.
12 to 24.
Okay.
This is the casings that we're going to stuff the sausage in. And this is how this works. You just take and you put that on there. Now, your job is going to be, when I start putting the meat in there, is going to be to hold this, and as it fills up, it's going to push out, and you're going to hold it to make sure that it gets full and not let it go out too soon. Otherwise, it won't have a full load of sausage in it. And there, my friend, is a tube of sausage.
All right, so we got everything cleaned up. We got 5 casings in the refrigerator stuffed. Now what do we do?
Now what do we do? Let it sit for a minimum of 12 hours or a maximum of 24, and that cures the meat. And it's got to be kept under cooling the whole time. After that, we take it out, put it in the smoker.
Yep.
And I've got a Pit Boss smoker.
Yeah,
it's
you do.
a pellet smoker, and it's a fine, fine machine.
And we're gonna try it out tomorrow.
We're gonna do it tomorrow, and first setting's got to be on very low heat for about an hour, and then you have about 2 or 3 different heats you have to put it on.
Sort of raise it up.
Raise it up slowly and keep the smoke going to it so it gets a good smoky flavor. And it will take probably about 8 hours to smoke it. And
The internal temperature.
internal temperature has to reach 156 degrees. And I have 2 internal probes that go in them, and we'll get her there.
All right. Well, till tomorrow morning, it's Beer 30. Thank you, Mike.
Sure. Thank you, Rick. Enjoyed it. Those are perfect rolls of summer sausage right there. Ricky and I labored all day over a few beers doing that yesterday. Not all day, a couple hours. So they are ready to get on the smoker.
Gonna be well worth it.
And this down here, probe 1 and probe 2, you got a temperature on each one, so we'll be putting 2 probes into the sausage, and as it cooks, we're supposed to do a number of steps, but our goal is to bring the inside temperature of the sausage to, I believe, 152, and that's what we're going to do. Okay, so we have placed the temperature probe in two tubes of this sausage now. People tell you the internal temperature should be, a lot of them say up to 160, 165. My particular seasoning packets and stuff from High Mountain say 152. So I think anywhere from probably 152 to 160 is probably a good temperature. We do have the 2 probes in there. Right now one of them is at 45 degrees and one was at 43 degrees. So we'll keep an eye on these and just let her do its thing. Let her cook. Well, let's see, we've been at it for about an hour and 50 minutes. Temperatures are holding good. Internal temperature of the meat right now is about 94. And I gave some bad information a while ago. It said 152 is where we want it. It's got to be 156. We're in 156, 160. So in just about 10 minutes, I'm going to crank it up a little bit higher, and then we're just going to let it go until that temperature reaches at least a minimum 156. And so we're right on target. Things are going well. Every 85 seconds it'll drop pellets now, which should bring my temperature up hopefully to about 160 on here. I'll do that for 30 minutes, and then I'm going to crank it to 200 and let her go until they come to temperature. I think we are good to go. This is what all the professionals tell you to do. After you get done and it's reached its temperature, you put them, you dunk them in salt water and let them cool rapidly.
Ice water.
What'd I say?
Salt water. Either way, as long as it's ice salt water.
Yeah. That's because I live close to salt water, I guess. Being an ex-sailor, what do you expect? What I usually do, I cut mine in like 4 different pieces so that I can freeze it, and just enough for me and the wife. And it'll last us, you know, if we're having cocktail hour or something, we can eat off it about 2 or 3 days with a little cheese and crackers and this meat. Oh, doesn't get much better than that. All right. Check that, huh? That is looking good. All right. And there you have it, the finished product. Try a little bite of that and see how it is. Doesn't taste like deer, does it?
That was certainly worth the work. That is good. Mike, I've enjoyed this. I want to thank you.
Rick,
First
Thank
time
you.
I ever made sausage.
well, maybe it won't be the last,
Maybe it won't,
but
that's really good.
your help was definitely appreciated and needed, so thank you very much.
If you enjoy the RV lifestyle and all that goes along with outdoors, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel. Click on that subscribe button, the like button, make a comment, and also ring the bell to be notified when new content is available. So from southern Mississippi, summer sausage making, I'm Ricky from RV Underway. Until we see you again, fair winds and following seas.